Hello guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending where you're gonna watch the video from and the time you're gonna see this particular video. I remain my humble self, the Eichmann. If you are seeing my video for the first time, please try to follow my page. Just tap on that follow button. Share this video, like, comment. Let's move into the video right now. As they play, Ingo the show. As they play, Ingo the show. For today's court, Peter Obi don't play his first video evidence. E shock you? Oh come on, oya watch see wetin happen. Watch this particular video, you go know say this man no dey play. This man tell them say na him win this election and he go prove am to them. Just watch how this man bring the first meeting, the meeting wey INEC chairman come hold with all the party candidates before the election, where he promised them that he would transmit all the results via beavers. That one na strong evidence. Wetin this man want to hold them na wetin dey talk from their mouth. You know say people dey tell us say wetin you talk with your mouth dey very very important. Na wetin Peter Obi want to use against them. I want you to watch this particular video. See how this thing play for court today. Everywhere scatter. You know say yesterday they come dey drag whether the thing go play or whether they go allow him play the video at the court or not. But today he don play the first one. Who knows? Maybe the next court go play the next one. I want you to watch the video. Like, comment and follow my page if you are seeing my video for the first time. I remain my humble self, the Eichmann. Try to share the video. Like, comment. We move. Peter Obi is coming.
You're very good. Great, good to see you. Thank you, sir. Good to see you. Bishop. My name is don't go anywhere. Presidential candidates and leaders of political parties, national commissioners, directors and other senior officials of the Commission, members of the INEC Press Corps, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to our third regular consultative meeting for this year. Since our last meeting on 10th May 2022, there have been several developments, among which are the Ekiti and Osun governorship elections, the conduct of primaries by political parties for the 2023 general election, the publication of the final list of candidates sponsored by political parties for the election, and the official commencement of electioneering campaign, and the suspension of the continuous voter registration exercise as provided by law. Already, we are at the most critical stage in the implementation of the activities in the timetable and schedule of activities for the general election. Working with political parties and other stakeholders, the Commission has so far successfully implemented 9 out of 14 activities for the general election. We are also making a steady progress in other critical areas of preparation for the election, including the provision of sensitive and non-sensitive materials, the recruitment of staff, and planning for the movement of personnel and materials for the election. Only last week, we commenced the training of master trainers on election technology to ensure a seamless process. Beginning from tomorrow, we will commence the same training at zonal level and subsequently train all the ad hoc staff for the 176,846 polling units nationwide. On this note, let me once again reassure Nigerians that there is no going back on the deployment of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for voter accreditation. There is no going back on the transmission of results on the INEC result viewing portal in real time on election day. There will be no incident form that enables ineligible persons to vote using other people's permanent voters' cards during elections. We are committed to ensuring that the 2023 general election is transparent and credible, reflecting the will of the Nigerian people. The critical foundation for credible election is the voters' register. You may recall that the CVR, which started on the 28th of June 2021, lasted for 13 consecutive months until its suspension on 31st July 2022. During that period, the Commission gave Nigerians regular weekly update showing the progress of the exercise nationwide, including analysis of the distribution of voters by age, occupation, gender, and disability for our planning purposes and for public information. At the end of the exercise, 12,298,944 Nigerians successfully completed the registration as new voters. All along, we have repeatedly assured Nigerians that our process of cleaning up the register is robust. After a rigorous cleaning up of the data using the automated biometric identification system, a total of 2,780,756, or 26% of new voters, 22.6% of new voters were identified as ineligible registrants and invalidated from the record. Among them, double and multiple registrants, underaged persons, and outrightly fake registrations that failed to meet our business rules. Consequently, the number of valid registrations post-ABIS is now 9,518,188. In terms of demographic distribution, 7.2 million new voters, or 76.5%, are young people between the ages of 18 and 34 years, while there is a slightly higher number of female, that is 4.8 million, or 50.82%, than male, 4.6 million, or 49.18% voters. In terms of occupation, 3.8 million, or 40.8%, are students. Hard copies giving the full details of the distribution of the new voters are included in your folders for this meeting. The soft copy has already been uploaded to the Commission's website and social media platforms. The Commission deployed thousands of diligent staff for the CVR exercise, and the vast majority of them discharged their duties conscientiously. Unfortunately, a few of them did not. The fictitious registrations were carried out by some of our registration officers involved in the field exercise and could easily be traced. Each registration machine is operated using an access code tied to a dedicated email assigned to a staff. There is therefore an audit trail that gives the total number of persons registered by each official involved in the registration exercise. In some cases, some of them made as many as 40 attempts or more to register one fake voter, and yet were able to detect the shenanigans. As a result, the Commission has so far identified 23 registration officers involved in this unethical conduct, and disciplinary action against this staff has commenced. We shall continue to protect the integrity of our voters' register. It is pivotal to credible elections. It is also a national asset and easily the largest database of citizens in Africa and one of the largest in the world. The 9.5 million new voters have been added to the existing register of 84,004,084 voters. The preliminary register of voters in Nigeria now stands at 93,522,272. It is preliminary because Section 19, subsections 1 and 2 of the Electoral Act requires the Commission to display the hard copies of the register of voters for each registration area or ward and local government area and simultaneously publish the entire register on the Commission's website for a period of 2 weeks for scrutiny, claims, and objections by citizens, not later than 90 days to a general election. Accordingly, in the next few days, the Commission will print 9.3 million pages of the register. The hard copy will be displayed for each of the 8,809 registration areas or wards and 774 local government areas nationwide, while the entire register will be published on our website for claims and objections as required by law. The display of the fiscal register will take place at the designated centers from Saturday 12th to Friday 25th November 2022. Further details, including the procedure for filing claims and objections, will be released by the Commission next week. I would like to appeal to all Nigerians to seize the opportunity of the display to scrutinize the list and help us to clean it up further so that the final register of voters for the 2023 general election can be compiled and published. The Commission is also working hard to ensure the completion of printing of the remaining PVCs for new voters, as well as those that applied for transfer or the replacement of their lost or damaged cards. In the coming days, we'll also inform Nigerians of the detailed plan to ensure a seamless collection of the PVCs. We are aware that Nigerians expect an improvement in the procedure for PVC collection. Since the end of the CVR in July this year, we have been working to ensure that citizens have a pleasant experience when they come to collect their PVCs. Beyond the voters' register and the compilation and the presentation of the PVCs, the Commission has released the timetable and schedule of activities for the 3 off-cycle governorship elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states. The 3 elections will now hold on Saturday, 11th November 2022. We had to release the timetable yesterday because under the new Electoral Act, the first activity is the publication of the notice for the election. And the law requires that that should be done not later than 360 days before the date fixed for the election. So on November the 14th, we'll publish the statutory notice for the conduct of off-cycle elections in these 3 states, not later than 90 days before the election. Again, hard copies of the timetable are included in your folders for this meeting and also already published on our website and social media platforms. Last week, the Commission cautioned political parties, candidates and their supporters to eschew violence during the electioneering campaign. The statement was necessary against the background of clashes among supporters of different political parties, including allegations of denial of access to public facilities and the destruction of billboards and other outdoor campaign materials by act of thuggery. The campaigns have just begun. As party leaders, you should remain committed to peaceful electioneering. We'll continue to work together to remove encumbrances to the right of parties and candidates to freely canvass for the support of the electorate. The Commission will continue to track the campaigns and will not hesitate to initiate the process of prosecution of violators as provided by law. It is clear to the Commission that as the general election approaches, there will be need to meet more frequently with leaders of political parties. We hope that in spite of your campaign activities, you will oblige us. In fact, we plan to invite you very soon for a discussion on political rallies and the issue of campaign finance including the limits on expenses set by the Commission, which the law says it should be done in consultation with the political parties. So if we invite you again, maybe as early as next week, please oblige us in spite of your busy campaign schedules. We are also going to invite you next week to inspect samples of the materials to be used for the general election as required by Section 42 of the Electoral Act. So kindly oblige us. We will send letters of invitation to all the political parties as required by law, and the inspection will take place in this hall, so that thereafter we can speedily commence the process of printing over 570 million ballot papers for the 2023 general election. By the time you add the result sheets and other forms and envelopes that we are going to print, we'll print close to 1 billion ballot papers, result sheets, and other materials. So the earlier we start this, the better. And from today, we only have 4 months and 1 day to the next general election. So on this note, I want to thank our distinguished party leaders, as chairman, as party leaders, and I have seen 5 presidential candidates already in this hall. So I welcome you to this meeting, and I thank you all, and God